Hello, everybody. um, haven't seen you all in a while, at least not in this way. But I'm here because I'm called to do readings, but very different than I've done before, um, which, you know, has my scary buttons pressed. um, but, that's what we're working through right now. It's really important that we face the things that we fear, um, that have us kind of bound, and they keep us from really being all that we are in the moment and with other aspects of ourselves. And that's all of us with each other. So I'm going to do this, and I've never done this before, so this is off the cuff. But I'm told to do 3, 6, 9. So I'm going to lay out 3 cards from my regular tarot deck. Then I'm going to put down 3 oracle cards, and then see what else wants to come out for the 9. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to shuffle the deck. I've already cleansed the decks. Okay, it's really good to know that we're connecting. I am doing this on live, but I'm not sharing it with anybody else right now because I'm not yet. But it's very likely that I'll put this out after I'm finished with it. I just want to welcome you all and thank you for joining me in this. This message is for a specific group of people who you'll know who you are when you get the message. It's not for everyone. Not everyone is connected with this. Okay, so we've got a fallout here. That's beautiful. Let's see what else we got here. Maybe we have another one. I'll just take it as it comes. Not hurry myself. Not use the usual. There's another one. And then let's see how the next one comes out. There it is. Okay. All right. So with these first 3 cards, in the center, which is the first one that came out, is the 3 of Cups. And 3 of Cups, well, look at the full moon, by the way. And we had the full moon, the ones of us on the East Coast anyway, had it last night and this morning for those on the West Coast. And this is about celebrating. This is really about releasing the fears, releasing the need to just be in charge of everything. This is about giving ourselves the opportunity to create a state of joy, create a state of communion with each other as we begin to create this new reality that is ours and the energies that we're actually in right now. We have such massive changes going on energetically, which of course are showing up in our world around us in so many ways. It's so much chaos. And so what I'm getting here is at the center of all of this, really come to a place where your focus is going to be on bringing yourself into a peaceful state of celebration and connectedness, communion. There's a divine feminine. Of course, we've got the full moon energy, which is a feminine energy. It can also be very cloudy energy, an energy of not being able to see real clearly. But at this moment, it's probably best not to use your laser eyes on the things going on around us, because they're just playing out the energies that we have allowed to be brought up, to be transformed, and they move on as you can see, the news cycles, they change all the time, whether you're watching the actual mainstream media or if you're, paying attention to what I call the real news, the true news, which are some amazing beings that make YouTube channels that kind of really bring out the information. However it is, we're still seeing incredible amounts of chaos going on, and I don't see that that's going to end anytime soon. I think it's part of the Great Awakening, the Great Cleansing. So the reminder here, I believe, is to, I can feel it, so it's really to bring ourselves into a state of lightness, expansion, communion, delight. You can just feel that. I love it. The card to the left, from my point of view, is the Five of Wands. And this is really talking about that chaos. Ooh, I'll get used to this one of these days. So this is really talking about the state of chaos. This is really what's going on out there is that, all of the duality, the complexity of all that has been created for the millennia leading up to this amazing time that we're in right now has been to teach us, to program us to be in a state of war with each other, constantly judging, constantly looking at something and saying, well, this is good, this is bad, this is good, and this is bad. And the thing is if you look and you paid attention over the last decades, what mainstream media and those who govern them, who pay them to speak their version of what they want you to believe is true, have been really feeding duality to us and bringing in one story that creates everybody, well, not everybody, but a certain group of people to become indignant and fearful. And what it's trying to do is instill hatred, which is really just a state of fear, of not being okay within, of not owning your own experience and your own perception of that experience. It's kind of giving away the power. So this is really just saying that this state of chaos that we're in right now is has within it both dualities. So you get to choose and maybe eventually come to a place of bringing it in together. I love the three because that's creation, but it's creation and joy. And this is really about giving ourselves the opportunity to see the play going on out there for what it is. It's a playing out of duality that has been hidden and pushed down and not spoken of. I don't think so many of us even realized what was going on for a long time, and so many of us are awakening to that now, which is just beautiful. And so this is really just showing us it's time to maybe see, maybe see this chaos. Nobody's killing each other there. Look at that, because there's no such thing as death. There's transformation, and this is about people being pitted against each other, and they're kind of fighting, but they're not like taking each other out, because there is no out. There's only in, right? So that's really cool. And then on the other side of this, to my right, is the King of Swords. And I really like this particular King of Swords too, even though he looks very curmudgeon-y. If you look up to which side? This side right here, you see the birds. And the birds there represent messages from spirit. They also represent freedom, and I believe he's got an eagle up above him. So we've got three there again. So we've got that three going on, which is creation. a being, of course, with the masculine energy of doing, of bringing creation into physicality, of making it happen. But this is about thoughts. So this is about mastering thoughts. You see, he's got a crown on, of course, the king. That means mastery. It means wisdom. And this is a man who sits within his own knowing of his own thoughts. He's created one strong idea of what he believes is true through many lifetimes, many years of learning and wisdom, creation of an inner knowing and a fairness. So that's really interesting. Now let me see what we're going to pull here for. I'm going to pull from an oracle card from the deck that is called, I think, something about releasing. So what we need to release. And I feel like this is the one, and I'm going to put that over the Five of Wands, which is that duality, and see what wants to be spoken of. And I got a glimpse, and I'm going to go ahead and read it just because I think it's awesome. So here's the Five of Wands, and you know, jostling and jousting and all of that. And this is the card that comes up over it. Surrender to play. What does that remind you of? Now, I don't know if you can see that. It says, take a break. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Take a break from overthinking a goal. Do something fun. Play is a time of recreation and rejuvenation. Well, there we go again. So that is the information coming in. It seems to be, at least in the moment, the main message, since it was the first card laid, that Three of Cups, which is really all about that. So really what it's saying is, for those who are listening who feel this need to really be vigilant and judgmental of all of the craziness going on the world stage, you know, there's such a tendency to be in judgment. And when we're in judgment, we're actually bringing what's within us out. And the judgment of anything going on out there is a reflection of the judgment that we still hold within. And it's really important to start considering the release of that judgment and seeing this whole thing as the play that it is. Coming into a center point within inside of ourselves really is the most powerful thing that we can do, because that center point, that 0 point, is the space of new creation. When you can move into the 0 point, which is right here within the heart, right here, and you can get really quiet within here, and when you can see the things going on in the world and not be triggered by it, you can also hold a space of new creation. That is a portal, as I see it, for new creation. You can't create, at least in the way that I think most of us want to, in a space of judgment, in a space of holding people guilty, no matter what the story is. I know it sounds crazy. Just realize that this is a big play. And if we hold those aspects, the shadow self, guilty, it's like carrying a big boulder along with us. You can't do that. Well, you can do it. You just don't get anywhere. And, you know, the all lovey-dovey, everything's perfect, tra-la-la, you know, that's great as far as a celebration, but not in a way to cover up the truth of what's going on. So you can see what's going on. I'm not saying don't look to see what's going on. I think it's important that we do. But I really think that a lot of this is it's kind of us testing ourselves to get to that place of pure balance. All right, so now let me do another card for a significator for the Three of Cups. And that would come from this deck, which is one of my faves, though I really love them all. This is the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. Beautiful front there. Such beautiful colors. So let's see what came up on that one. The Taming of the Wind. And I'm going to have to look in the book to see what that is. And I'm going to have to remember how to do that. I got to look at that number too. It looks like it's 55. For all you Q people, you'll know what that is, at least in terms of the number itself. Taming the Wind. All right, let's see what we've got here. Okay, my glasses bag. Okay, the essence of this card is here the feather, a symbol that is used in clearing ceremonies for the smudging, reminds you of the sacred commitment that you make to your life. This is the symbol of consciously bringing the spiritual into the material, infusing the world with reverence and an acknowledgement of the higher planes of existence that influence and animate all life. The feather is a symbolic reminder of deliberately entering into a partnership with the Great Spirit to co-create for the highest good of all. That's beautiful. And the invitation of this card is it's time to clear your energy. Be present. And be conscious of how you communicate. This is a good time to write in your journal and put your thoughts into a cohesive form. Perhaps you need to actually do a smudging ceremony in your home or office, creating a sacred space to write about your dreams and desires. Just remember that when Taming the Wind appears as a symbol, it is time to honor the Great Spirit with reverence and respect. That's beautiful. So maybe that is what's going on here, is this beautiful celebration and the respect for the spirit, because look at them, they're giving the energy up to the heavens. Looks like they're celebrating. And the Taming the Wind, wow, this is so beautiful. I'm going to see if you can maybe see this a little bit more clearly, so I'm going to hold it there. How beautiful. Taming the spirit. So the significator for the Three of Cups is be in joy. Spend your time really coming up with reasons and action to celebrate life and to celebrate spirit within life, the spirit that makes you animated. Without the spirit, the body wouldn't exist. Now, the body doesn't have to exist for the spirit to exist, but we brought spirit into matter. And this is just saying that as you celebrate, really utilize the energy of this respect and love for spirit within matter. That's just gorgeous. Now let's see what wants to come up for the King of Swords card. I'm going to use my Colette Baron Reid maps. And the last one was from Colette Baron Reid as well. I really love her cards. It took me years to even take a look at them, but when I did, it was all over. It was beautiful. So this is what's it called? The Enchanted Map deck. And we got, for the King of Swords, we got the number 31 card, which is, ooh, Dry Desert. Wonder what that has to say. Dry Desert. Uh-oh, I'm not sure. Yes, I do have the book. Yay. 31. So Dry Desert, it has dig deep for inspiration and truth. And remember what we said about the King of Swords, knowing his own truth, really getting to a place of that wisdom inside of himself, from having listened to the guides, becoming one with his spirit. It's always right there. The eagle, who is, incredibly strong, powerful, and eyesight better than these. All right, and it says upright. Is your life presenting you with opportunities that seem to yield nothing? Have your ideas dried up? Does it feel like you're on an endless journey through a dry, hot life desert? This card reminds you that there are times when you're meant to become resilient as you journey through harsher circumstances. This is making sense. You're being, excuse me, I need to take a drink. That's good. All right. You're being required to conserve your energy until after consistent effort. You reach the oasis you're searching for. Consider the creatures that live in these conditions. They have adapted to thrive in spite of the outer environment. In a desert, water, essential for life, can be found deep underground. So go deep within inside of yourself now. Find your truth there. Let spirit sustain you while you locate the real source. Whatever it is you're asking about will not be found in the conditions you're in until you move past the surface of things and choose to do the real work and discover the answers deep within you. This may not seem like the most productive time, but looks are deceiving. This is the most important place to find what's true and right for you. Wow, that makes absolutely perfect sense, given everything else that we've got and that wants to come through. So this is just reiterating that, what's going on out there in this play, you can call it a game, you can call it a movie, you can call it the Matrix, you can call it whatever you want to. It is an outer representation of what the collective inner has really determined to bring up and out and release. Sometimes it may not feel like that, it may not look like that, but remember, this isn't about looking at what's going on out there and saying, oh my God, that's reality. It's really about going within you and choosing what it is that you want as your reality, and taking the time, like the other one said, taming the wind, write it down. This is a time to cleanse, go within, write out. I did this last night. I actually followed Aluna Ash's, I guess it's a ceremony of sorts, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but it was to write down how things are for me as I see them and feel them right now, and just write it all out. And then when you're finished, write out how I choose to see my life right now, actually being in gratitude that my life is, and then write that out as I desire it to be. And she has it in 2 steps. One of them is how are things right now, and then how are things financially, but that all came together for me. So I just did 2 steps, and then you write out something about, well, maybe what I'll do is copy it down and share it if you guys want to do it. I wrote this stuff out yesterday to have it done with the full moon, and then you're to read what it is that you choose every night for 90 days, for 90 nights. And that will, you go in and you do this, and it really, really shifts and changes. And I can see how that happens. I can see how that is important. Now let me see the other 3 cards. I almost feel like I don't need to do the other 3. 2, 4, 6, and then the information itself. Let's see, maybe just do 3 quick ones. I said 9, so we're going to do 9. I don't like to take so much time, but 3, 6, 9, 7, 8, 9. Okay. What wants to come out? You do, my love. And you do. And you do. Okay. So in the center again, down below the 3 of Cups and the Taming of the Wind. So this is the Tower card. And, oops. The Tower card is about the breaking down of the old paradigm. It's a 16. 16 is 7. 7 is spiritual creativity, moving. And so this is saying that as we celebrate and as we make sacred that which we celebrate and choose to reframe into something sacred and something worthy of celebration, it breaks down the old structures of control, fear, and all of that. And each new moment gives us the opportunity to bring forward something brand new. But the only way we can bring forward brand new is to let go of and allow all that has been to crumble. I love that. So under the 5 of Wands and the Surrender to Play, on the left-hand side is the Knight of Rods. Ooh, okay. And this one is, do you see the dragon on his helmet? And he holds the wand as almost like, he's just kind of like carrying it around with him. This is about, this is about owning the, this is going to sound crazy, the reptilian brain part of you. And if any of you know anatomy, you know that we all have within our brain something called the reptilian brain. And I think what this is really trying to tell us is that all of those beings out there that we consider the cabal or the Illuminati, the deep state, you know, playing out these shadows coming to light, that we have that within us, that this energy of the power that they've used can be redirected, like all energies can, redirected into something really powerful. Because the dragon energy, and I've got a dragon right up there. I painted a beautiful blue dragon. This is about restructuring the belief system, restructuring your choice of what you point the finger at, what you determine as being guilty and fearful and against you and makes you feel weak and helpless. At some point in this, there are many who've already transcended this. And the dragon is, and many reptilian species like the snake, they're considered divine wisdom, because at some point they are that. There are those who have fallen astray and played the shadow aspect of ourselves for us. But there are also aspects of ourselves that are this divine wisdom, and dragons are considered incredibly divine. And so this is saying all of that fighting, that's the lower aspect of the reptilian nature, which we see quite clearly all around us, right? This surrender to play is beautiful. And this is just a reminder of bringing the wisdom into that, which really just mirrors the 3 of Cups and the 55 Taming of the Wind card. I love it when it all comes together like this. Okay, so the next one we have, this is very interesting. So this is down below the King of Swords and the Dry Desert, and that is the Queen of Rods, or the Queen of Wands. So this is really, this is about the abundance of excitement, the abundance of passion, of creation that offers. You can see the sunflower, and the sunflower just shows you, you know, the symbolism is about the huge number of seeds that one big beautiful flower has to offer. That is abundance. You can also see the colors of fire, the orange and the yellow, the sun colors, and that's about burning off the past. That's about dissolving the shadow, right? This is a Queen card, and the Queen is the master of whatever this is, and this would be spirit, spirit reconstituted in a way that is your choice, not the programmed choice. And so this is really beautiful. I think that this reading is exactly what I needed to hear. I hope it's what you needed to hear. I hope it helps you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I thank you for spending this time with me. And I love you. Bye.